conservative commentator Ben Shapiro with some bombshell news yesterday. It's actually not that bombshell, but it's very revealing in the way that he talks about it. He said he's going to be voting for Donald Trump for all of the wrong reasons, in my view. I'm just going to present it to you, and we'll react on the other side. Let's take a listen.
I did not vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I am voting for Donald Trump in 2020. There are 3 reasons I'm going to vote for Donald Trump in 2020 when I didn't 4 years ago. First, I was simply wrong about Donald Trump on policy. Second, I wasn't really wrong about Donald Trump on character, but whatever damage he was going to do has already been done, and it's not going to help if I don't vote for him this time. And third, most importantly, the Democrats have lost their minds. So, first of all, Donald Trump has governed pretty conservatively. I thought he would not be conservative in his governance. I was just wrong on that. Donald Trump radically cut regulation. You actually saw reductions in the number of man hours dedicated to dealing with regulation for the first time in a long time under Donald Trump. He appointed originalist judges to the best of his ability. We're talking dozens of them, textualist, originalist judges who actually care about the role of the judiciary. He cut taxes, jogging the economy, raising it to heights not seen in half a century, the lowest unemployment rate in half a century, people having their wages rise at the bottom of the spectrum. He appointed pro-life people to the executive branch and pursued pro-life policy via executive order. Our most crucial institutions, from corporate America to the universities, they've been corrupted top to bottom, and giving them power over your lives, more power over your lives, huge mistake. The Democrats are no longer the party even of Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. They're the party of Bernie Sanders, and they're just wearing around the mask of Joe Biden. They're the party of Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. Joe Biden is a Potemkin village of a candidate. He is not a bulwark against radicalism. He is a facade for it. Everybody knows it. That's why Bernie is touting him as the most progressive presidential candidate since FDR.
Interesting. So what do you think about that, Saagar?
Well, we were just talking about it. You're right. I mean, Shapiro should vote for Trump based upon those metrics, right? I mean, that is the true con case for Trump. And actually, that's why I think he's very likely to lose this election, because he behaved in a manner in which Ben Shapiro, who did not vote for him, is going to vote for him this time around. And look, I don't have a beef with Ben Shapiro. Like, he's very, ideological in his view, and has been for a very long time. But the fact of the matter is, everything he's talking about there is not popular. And if Trump had governed in a way where Shapiro was concerned that he wasn't conservative enough on policy, he would win. Well, I'm absolutely convinced of it.
And that was I thought Michael Tracy had a really good take on this. He said, if Trump had governed in a way that continued to alienate Ben Shapiro, he'd be in a much stronger position right now.
100% true.
Because Shapiro lays out what's the policy case that let's put the character in the tweets and all that piece to the side, and then I'll talk in a minute about the Democratic part, which I do think is crazy. But he says basically tax cuts and he cut regulation. Standard issue Republican stuff. And look, if that's your bag, if that's the thing that you're into, and you want to see, the judges, the pro-life judge and whatever, you should vote for Donald Trump. So I actually thought his analysis of the Trump administration was accurate, and it was actually sort of damning in a sense.
Correct.
Look, on the Democratic piece, I think, obviously I wish that Joe Biden was like a Potemkin village candidate ushering in Bernie Sanders. One piece of news that came out this morning is that the Biden team is vetting all of these Republicans for the cabinet, people like John Kasich, who ideologically would very much align, by the way, with Ben Shapiro on basically everything.
Flake and Shapiro are the same.
Right. Jeff Flake, Charlie Baker, Charlie Dent, Meg Whitman. So these are people who are being vetted for the Biden cabinet. People who are not being vetted for the Biden cabinet are anyone who has ever had anything to do with Bernie Sanders. There's not one Bernie Sanders endorser who is even being floated or talked about as a potential for the Biden cabinet. The furthest they'll go is like pretending to think about maybe putting Elizabeth Warren somewhere, which we all know is not ultimately going to happen. So I think his analysis of the Democrats is obviously you all know that I think that that's insane, and I wish it were true, but it's obviously not. He goes on to talk more about, this is the other piece that was interesting. So the flip side, he says, okay, the tax cuts and the deregulation, awesome. The reservations he has about Trump are also very revealing.
All the good things he's done.
Let's take a listen to that.
Trump hasn't been as conservative as I would like on everything. He's spent way too much money, like oodles too much money. I actually care about that stuff. His perspective on trade is a zero-sum game. I think it's wrong-headed. He still signed into law the USMCA, which is a pretty good trade deal. But these are problems I've had with a variety of Republicans, including George W. Bush. Trump has governed overall in a far more conservative fashion than W on policy. He is the most conservative president of my lifetime on policy.
So the problems he has is that he spent too much money, which 30 million people on unemployment right now would beg to differ with.
Once again, here, just to go, look, Shapiro can believe whatever he wants, but he's dramatically out of step with the American people. New York Times CNN poll right now came out this morning. 72% of Americans support a new $2 trillion stimulus package. And there's a reason that Trump, in a last-ditch effort to get elected, is like, no, I want bigger than $2.2 trillion. I want to go as big as humanly possible. That's a fact. He can believe whatever nonsense he would like, but the truth is that it would be he would be dramatically more popular and on a path to re-election if he governed in a way that was in no way supported by Ben Shapiro. That's just a fact. Yeah. Whenever you look at public polling and about why he became the GOP nominee in the first place.
What was the quote he had about it's not the conservative party, it's the Republican Party? That was the 2016 Trump.
It was one of his best campaign speeches. He's like, it's not the conservative party. It was sneering. He's like, it's the Republican Party. Exactly. Right now, more than half of Republican voters, almost 60% in this poll, all polling I've seen, support a $2 trillion stimulus. $2 trillion. They're not conservative on economic policy. It's really only Shapiro and others. And you want to know where the Trump campaign has obviously been getting some of their talking points? Look at Shapiro. He's pushing the same radical left, tax and spend stuff that the campaign has been talking about for months. So I think Michael Tracy is right. And again, I don't have a beef with Ben Shapiro. Like, he can say whatever he would like, but he's just wrong whenever it comes as a matter of electoral policy. And if Trump had governed in a way that didn't align more with Ben Shapiro, I think he'd be on his way to winning.
Yeah, that is the thing, is that if you have Ben Shapiro's ideology, then he's correct. It makes all the sense in the world to vote for Donald Trump. That's exactly why he's losing right now, is because there aren't that many people as a percentage of the American population who share that specific ideology with Ben Shapiro. I mean, I do think it's funny on the Joe Biden, Potemkin Village for Bernie Sanders, whatever. And he asserts it like he's like, oh, everybody knows that. He's like, everybody can see that. I mean, that's just obvious. No, actually, again, if you look at the polling, not just me making the case on this, people think that Joe Biden is a lot less extreme than Trump.
Much more moderate.
They see him as a moderate. And that is a large part of the people that he's winning over are, these moderate, centrist suburbanites, kind of to my chagrin, but that is what is in fact happening. And look, he's had four decades, I was going to say 40 decades, feels like that, 4 decades in Washington, where you can see the type of politician he is. You can see the people he's talking to. You can see the people he's bringing into this administration. I wish that it were true, but obviously it is clearly not true. And this idea that everyone can see it. No, if you're in this certain right libertarian bubble, that's your view, but it does not penetrate outside of that bubble whatsoever.
Exactly right.
Tomorrow in Rising, the American Prospect's David Dayen is going to come in to talk about universal family care, and the Trump campaign is going to give us a status report as well as all the other interesting stories of the day.
Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Don't forget to like and share as well, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
And make sure to watch our election night coverage on Tuesday, November 3rd, starting at 9 p.m. We're going to have the latest results and analysis from friends of the show, reporters all over, coverage for The Hill and Battleground reporters, all the great stuff that you do not want to miss. Have a great day, everybody. See you back here tomorrow.